Almost every question I receive from nonprofit leaders is about strategy, right? How do I meet donors? How do I get my board to work? What's the fundraising strategy that will make all of that money start to flow in to my organization, right? And I want to respond, stop focusing so heavily on strategy, right? Oftentimes, the human who is hyper focused on strategy is the human who's looking for the easy button, right? They're looking for that quick change. They're thinking, man, I must have missed something in my strategy. And if I just get all of that right, it's all going to flow perfectly, right? Perhaps that has happened for other people in their nonprofit journey. It has not happened for me, right? If you're looking to make exponential gains in your nonprofit, strategy is not the place to go to work. You know the question I wish they would ask me? How do I transform myself into a human that attracts abundant people and resources so that my nonprofit can then attract abundant people and resources, right? The place to go to work is you. You are your nonprofit's biggest asset. And if we're being honest, most nonprofit leaders are burnt out, right? They're miserable. They're carrying negative energy into interactions. They're not able to unleash their full potential in their interactions, right? And beyond that, they're often hung up on resentments and limiting beliefs, right? They're living out of their wounds. And if you want to make those exponential gains, I'm telling you, those are hiding in you, not in strategy. Go to work on you. And this is why I'm such a huge advocate for self-care and discovery. And I'm not going to dive into that too deeply here. I cover it in incredible depth in my online course, but I'll dive into it deeply enough to say that the nonprofit leader who is not setting aside time for quality self-care and discovery is setting himself or herself up for disaster, right? He or she is disconnecting from his or her deeper self and disconnecting and damaging other core relationships, right? And while the wheels might stay on everything for a little while, they might stay on the nonprofit for a little while, they might stay on the marriage for a little while, they might stay on this for a little while, they will eventually fall off and it won't be pretty, right? This is the importance of diving into yourself and untying those deeper knots within, right? This is the importance of listening to your intuition, that deeper voice within, as it tells you to stop focusing so heavily on the on the surface level of strategy, right? Oftentimes, the person focusing on strategy is like the person who's focusing on a mosquito bite on a rabid dog, right? It's like you can put a Band-Aid on that mosquito bite all you want to, but that's not going to solve the bigger issue here, right? It's not going to do much in the big scheme of things. You've got to dive into and solve these issues at their root, right? And these issues begin with the nonprofit leader and then they leak into the nonprofit in various ways, right? Your fundraising strategy is not going to make up for your limiting beliefs, right? Your board dynamic is not going to heal that deeper wounding within you. Finding that big donor is not going to help you finally stop being a workaholic who's forsaking himself or herself and his or her close relationships. And why do we do this anyway? Why do we work for nonprofits, right? It's not to kill ourselves. It's not so we can say, well, I'm miserable, but check out my board, right? You know, I'm sorry. It's sort of a weird frustration that I have when I see people so hyper focused on strategy, right? And it doesn't help that we have a bunch of other unhealthy nonprofit staff and unhealthy consultants saying that strategy is the problem. No, it's not. It's not the problem, right? The exponential gains for your nonprofit are not in strategy. They're in you. right? So my advice would be to put strategy on the back burner and work on you. Your strategy will end up being a natural outgrowth of you, right? Healthy you equals healthy strategy for your nonprofit.